And they'll have food directly from Augusta National, like pimento cheese sandwiches, Georgia pecan caramel popcorn, and lots more. Plus specialty drinks to get you in the mood for the greatest golf tournament in the world. Book a bay today at doubleeagle.golf.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone back with the latest update from Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, your new car selection keeps getting better and better every month. Can you tell our listeners all about it?
It sure is, Charlie. It's great that our customers can come in, pick out a new Honda, and drive away with it that day.
How many new Hondas do you have in stock?
Well, right now we have just about 100 in stock.
Hey, I hear you've won some very important awards in your service department. Tell us about them.
Well, the first one is we won the award for the first fixed award. So the cars are actually fixed on the very first time they're brought in. Second award is our Customer Service Experience Award. And then our third award is our Honda Express Service Elite. And we rank the best in quality and customer satisfaction.
Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years, and they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line, here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
He's running. He's coming. Strick's in the building. What you got there, Stricky? The usual?
It's the meal, baby. The meal does it to me every time. I got to have it sometime.
You got to have it.
Just come on down, 10th and 0. 11th and 0.
1040.
1040.
Looks like another zero, but it's no. They sure do.
I mean, you can get wine, you can get brew, you can get great
white mocha.
Coffee. Yeah, you know that's what I do also.
There it is. Big thanks to The Mill for their partnership with us here at 93.7 The Ticket. Big thanks to NEBCO for sponsoring this show. This is On the Block. We're with you 2 to 4 weekdays here on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Austin Norman. Erick Strickland, 9-year NBA vet, Husker Hall of Famer with me. And Stricky, this is your segment. I want you, I know you're a humble guy. You know, you're confident, but you're humble. I want you to puff your chest out right here, Stricky, and tell the people just how big you went dominating this last bracket challenge.
Man, listen, I got as high. Now, here's what's funny. You want to hear the irony of it, Austin?
We need to.
The irony of it is I actually put my name in the Creighton boo hat. I love that you're copying me. I do my boo.
How many times did you lose to Creighton in your career, by the way?
0.
Mm.
I
Whoa.
ended up in the top 10
Sheesh.
out of, it was 13,000 and like 600 and some odd people that joined into the fray. I ended up in the top 10, 99.9. You saw that multiple times, 99.9 percentile. Even on ESPN, I was on the First Take one.
You were.
I was in 1,000. I was only like 1,200.
Out of like 500,000?
500,000. 1 million. I was like, right there in the same frame, 2,000 or something. So my bracket hit, baby. Now listen, let's be honest. A lot of people did not pick North Carolina State. I don't care what you say. If you did, you was a North Carolina State fan, so you hit there. So there was a lot of picks that I ended up even missing on, but I ended up coming back on the back end and hitting. So like the Gonzaga, Kansas situation, I actually had Kansas losing to Purdue anyway. So a lot of my later picks and a couple of my brackets. So my bracket in the West was kind of frayed a little bit.
Who's your
because
Sweet 16
Clemson threw
there?
me.
Yeah.
So it was Arizona. It was Arizona, which I had, but I had Arizona beating Clemson.
Right.
Which that was an upset. They should have won that game, by the way. But I had Alabama beating North Carolina. But that was one off from where I had, because I thought Michigan State was going to make a little run. They did not do so.
No.
Again, Purdue I chose going all the way. I did pick Utah State. That bracket was hitting. Gonzaga hurt me because I had a McNeese upset there. But then I had Kansas beating them. They ended up losing. So that kind of hurt me a little bit. And then on the bottom half, I had Tennessee. So I had Tennessee rolling all the way up to where they were. So I had those hit and miss points. I had Creighton going and losing to Tennessee, but you saw how that game went. Oregon, I'm not Oregon, but Tennessee pulled it out in the end. So that worked out for me. And then you go to the North bracket, it's hit and miss. I went with Nebraska, baby. I went with Wisconsin. I fell short. That's where I fell short. But my main one, the East bracket, I only missed 2. The whole bracket. The whole bracket, I only missed 2, and that was Drake.
Mm-hmm.
That was I ended up picking I think
Washington
Drake.
State.
No, I ended up picking Drake, and Washington State beat them.
Yep.
And the other one I missed was Auburn. So there's where my misses were.
Dang.
Yeah, man.
99.9 percentile.
99.9.
Tricky. That's
top 10 in that
top
one.
of the top.
28 in the Nebraska
tippity
one.
top.
28. I was ranked 28th in the Nebraska. They had these different ones where University of Wisconsin, Nebraska. I was rolling, baby.
Moral of the story for those of you at home: listen to Stricky. Don't write this man off.
Yeah, you do. I know you do.
Stop writing him off.
The only
Listen
one
to the
that
man.
doesn't, Austin. The only one that doesn't write me off is the notorious B.I.B. And you know what? Sometimes who else? John Cortland. Sometimes John Cortland roll with Stricky. But notorious B.I.B. That's my he rolls with Stricky. Yeah.
Nebraska rolling with Robbie Avila out of the transfer portal. What do you think about that, Stricky? 6'10" out of Indiana State. Playmaker, shooter.
Big sexy. Big.
That's Bartolo Colon, but
big sexy. Hey, but no, listen, I like him. I just like his vision. I think he's got good vision. He's got a burner. He's got a stroke on him. I love the new goggles.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I want him to be. We missed on the first goggles. Goggles
badly.
Goggles do.
Le do.
Riley Washington. Shout out to my guy, Riley Washington. Yes, sir. You are one of my guys for sure. Yeah. I appreciate the strict crew.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So Robbie Avila, for those who don't know, kind of took on cult hero status this year in college basketball, playing for Indiana State, who I still think got robbed out of the NCAA tournament. won the Missouri Valley regular season title, ended up falling in the conference tournament. The NCAA selection committee doesn't put him in the NCAA tournament. They make it all the way to the NIT finals, get beat by Seton Hall. But Robbie Avila for Indiana State last year, all freshman Missouri Valley. This year he was all conference and all tournament team, averaged 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, which is even better than what Rink Mast averaged at Bradley, which, again, same conference from the Missouri Valley there. But here's the appealing part to me, Strick. 39% from 3 and 81% from the free throw line at 6'10". Those are incredible numbers.
He's got a stroke on him. And listen, the style fits. The style fits. There's no more Zach Edey in the Big Ten.
No. Amori might be gone too.
The style, I don't see why you wouldn't. You need front court play.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like his rebound numbers?
They're solid.
Moderate.
He averages 1.5 offensive rebounds and 5.5 defensive rebounds a game.
Right. So they're not, they're
fine.
They're fine. But I think a lot of his intangibles fits the style. Like, to me, he has a little bit more body. A little bit more, body to maintain on the inside. So yeah, man, I don't know.
We haven't heard anything. He just entered the transfer portal today. So that's a name that I would recommend Nebraska keep an eye on. What else is coming up? Next segment, we will talk UConn and Purdue. We'll get into the shootout with Strick at 2:45, brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings. Hour 2, potentially some new NCAA transfer rules. Don't go anywhere. More on the block next.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through April 9th is buy one, get one free on 8-ounce flat iron steaks, limit 4 per visit. Also, $1.50 off all Bachan's Japanese barbecue sauces. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you are a loved one or struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years. And they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
It's officially one of the greatest weeks of the year on the sports calendar, Masters Week. Book your tee time today with friends, family, or coworkers at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Doors open at 10 a.m. from Thursday to Sunday, and they'll have food directly from Augusta National, like pimento cheese sandwiches, Georgia pecan caramel popcorn, and lots more. Plus specialty drinks to get you in the mood for the greatest golf tournament in the world. Book a bay today at doubleeagle.golf. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine to go along with light winds. Afternoon high around 67. Tonight, mainly clear with calm winds and a low around 40. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies and more mild temperatures. An afternoon high around 70. I'm meteorologist Kyle Becker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Whether you're looking for a place to stay for a concert at PBA, a Nebraska home game, or just a night on the town, the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket is the place for you. Enjoy an evening at one of many restaurants or bars within a short walking distance. Business travelers at the hotel will enjoy free high-speed internet access, a 24-hour business center, and large in-room workstations. And check out the Bistro, where you'll enjoy healthier food and beverage options, as well as high-tech conveniences. Book your room today at the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket.
Nutrition Authority presents Activator. University studies have shown that Activator helps with building muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Activator is for male and females of all ages who want to look, feel, and perform their best. Activator can only be found in Nutrition Authority. Stop in, call, or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
Cover more acres with a pre-owned sprayer or planter from Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer. We offer one of the area's largest selections of used sprayers, applicators, planters, and seeders. Through the month of April, take advantage of fixed-rate financing as low as 4.5% for up to 60 months or an 8-month interest waiver. Visit your local Landmark location or view our complete sprayer and seeding inventory online at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Let's break down the national championship game. Big Ten, 0 for its last 8. Still haven't won one since the year 2000. Austin Norman and Erick Strickland with you. UConn, on the other hand, Stricky, 6 national championships since 1999. That in and of itself is just incredible. Basically, once every 4 1/3 years, UConn's got another tournament title. They made the tournament twice between 1958 and 1989, 1968 and 89. And now they've won 6 straight titles. Really incredible stuff going on up there in Stores. But let's look at last night's game. 75.
Pause.
Okay.
You said now you believe that they're an emerging and they've secured their spot as a blue blood.
They're the newest blue blood.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because of the back-to-back? Or do you just think now the track record has began to speak for itself?
They probably already were a blue blood. I mean, 5 titles gets you in that conversation. The reason that I was hesitant, the reason that I held off is because when I think of blue bloods, I think of long-term history, right? And a lot of people would say, well, Duke is just Coach K. Well, Duke made a Final Four before Coach K, right? Yeah, it's just one, but that's more than UConn ever did. Mm-hmm. UConn basketball history, in terms of the success, really starts with Jim Calhoun, who wasn't that long ago, and even took him a little bit of time to take off and get going. If you look at, Kentucky, you look at UCLA, you look at Kansas, Carolina, they all won titles before the modern era of college basketball. And that's what I think of when I think of blue blood, is that history.
That history.
You know, because
So
I
you're
think of
saying,
people,
are
even
you
like before your
UCLA?
generation.
UCLA?
UCLA's in there. Yes,
Blue blood.
absolutely. Yes. Because to me, so much of a blue blood is rich tradition for so long. UConn has been maybe the best college basketball program of the last 25, 26 years. Like, I mean, 6 titles in that time frame, that's hard to argue. But guess what? They've also missed the tournament more than anyone else in that time frame. They also missed the tournament more than anyone else before that time frame. UCLA, what they did under Wooden was great. They found a way to get one in the 90s. Had that Kevin Love, Russell Westbrook, Mba Mute team that almost won the title. So UCLA is probably the closest to the way out. I mean, Kentucky's been good for so long. Kansas helped usher in, college basketball as we somewhat know it, with Fog Allen and all those guys.
Name them.
Carolina, obviously there. Okay, so here's the list for me.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky,
mm-hmm.
Kansas,
mm-hmm.
Carolina,
mm-hmm.
Duke, UCLA, UConn.
Okay. Now Duke was kind of a later, because their history doesn't tell you that. So Coach K's era basically identifies them in that space. I'm not fighting you on it. I'm just saying, because before they didn't really have that long. I mean, I guess his tenure is what, 30 plus years.
40.
40. Yeah. Right.
I mean, history's got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree with you. Okay, go ahead.
And the only reason I
no Syracuse.
No.
Okay.
No. Duke was definitely the newest of the blue bloods in that conversation.
Yeah.
But Duke was also like legitimately dominant in the ACC tournament for a while, and didn't miss the tournament like UConn did. I mean, UConn spent its fair share of years wandering in the wilderness. None of those other programs really have for more than a year or two at a time. UConn went through some really iffy, 3, 4, 5 year stretches.
Yeah.
Even in the midst of 6 titles. So UConn's there, they deserve it, but Syracuse doesn't have the number of rings for me. Arizona doesn't have the number of rings for me.
That's what I wanted to establish.
Yeah.
It's the natties mostly.
For the most part.
Okay.
Yeah. And even Syracuse has been pretty mid. Some of the Final Fours they made under Boeheim, they were just average teams to some degree. So that's where I fall with that. Indiana, I should probably give them blue blood status because of what Bob Knight did. But Stricky, they have fallen so hard, so far, so fast. It's hard for me to consider Indiana a blue blood because I only know like 1 or 2 good years of Indiana basketball in my lifetime.
So their history just hasn't progressed in the present to give you that status.
Right.
Some would say it's just because of the Indiana rich tradition in itself, that
the whole state,
gives it, its credence. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to fight you on that. So then there's no one in the Pac-12 outside of UCLA.
Right.
There's no one in the Big 12.
Kansas.
Okay, Big 12, you get Kansas. So each conference pretty much has one blue blood.
The ACC has 2. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
What you trying to say?
Nothing.
You
Just a fact. It's just a fact.
A little bias action.
Yeah, I know what I'm about.
Big Ten. So Big Ten gets none.
Indiana is the closest.
See how you do?
Indiana's the closest.
Yeah, I see where you're going. You're trying to
Big Ten's a football conference,
Tricky. Trying to eliminate the Big Ten.
I am.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ted says you can say the same thing about UCLA then. UCLA has
Facts. What's your name?
Ted.
Shout. Way to call him out, Ted. That's what I was going at. See,
it's not even calling me out.
By it. No.
It's not, because what I said was UCLA made a Final Four, I think 2006.
Ted's gonna make me take off my sweater.
Here we go. Okay, Ted, you're making Stricky do it. You want full strict cam? Nah, just in case. There we go. Full strict cam. He's back. UCLA's at least made Final Fours. UCLA made that run with Jaquez in that group just a couple years ago. So no, UCLA hasn't been as consistently good as they were under Wooden, but that's probably the best run of any program ever. What Wooden did at UCLA.
Scratch him, Ted. King Kong ain't got nothing on Stricky. Notorious B.I.B.
Notorious B.I.B. It wasn't in order. I was just naming the programs.
We're just talking. But yeah, I just
Oh, Dirty Tony, come on. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm just telling you my opinion.
Yeah, opinion.
If you disagree, let us know. Let me know where I'm wrong. I'm happy to have the discussion with you.
Yeah, and this is why I wanted you guys to chime in. Really, I'm sparking some debatable topics because I really would love your thoughts on it. Because one of the things that they do have is they have traditional blue bloods. Those are the ones that have the history and their long history and present success. But then they have what they call new bloods, and that's the break off that I kind of want to have the discussion about. What's your thoughts? We want it 402-464-5685. Who do you consider to be blue blood, and who do you consider to be new blood, especially now?
Gonzaga is in that new blood category, I think. UConn is in the newer bluer
there's
blood.
No championship required for new blood. Because you said championship is
blue blood, yes.
Okay.
Gonzaga is Gonzaga's knocking on the doorstep, but I think they would have had to get a couple in the few time frame to be a blue blood. And it's small and it's out of the way. No one thinks about them. So no, Gonzaga's not a blue blood, but it's pretty close to a new blood.
Okay.
I would say the school that really missed the boat was Villanova. If Jay Wright keeps going, I think Nova could have been a monster. But he retires, and I've never met Kyle Neptune. I don't want to talk poorly about the man. Underwhelming hire. Has not lived up to it at all.
So what about like the Georgetowns with the times that they had, and you know what I mean? Like, when Thompson was there, I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
Georgetown is over Syracuse in my mind.
Okay. See, that's where I think about. I start thinking about those type of guys.
Where do you put Arizona?
See, gosh, I can't even open my mouth to say it. Arizona has just, I think they've let me down so much in more recent time that the runs that they had in the 90s were absolutely phenomenal with, Terry, Bibby, oh gosh,
like
Mike, Shane Battier.
Battier went to Duke.
Not Duke, not Battier. What's his name? Oh gosh, what's his name? He's Battier. He's like Battier. He's like him. Oh, what's his name? Dickerson was there.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, what is his name? He was a forward. Oh, I can't remember. But he's like he plays the same type of style that Battier plays. But anyway,
Damon Stoudemire. Did you mention him?
Oh, dang, that's right. Damon Stoudemire did.
Sean Elliott.
There you go. That's him. Sean Elliott was there. Yeah.
Couple people now have thrown out Michigan State. Disagree. I am out on Spartan. I have some Michigan State friends, and I don't say this to slight them.
Yeah, Richard Jefferson.
RJ?
Richard Jefferson and Gilbert Arenas both were there. Yeah, they did. During that period, that era, they were rocking and rolling. I don't know. I mean, what do you feel about them now? I mean, they're like the Cowboys to me now.
That's
fair. They had great history in the 90s, made great runs, and then you get hyped up, and they're always finding themselves in a 2 or 3 seed. Like, I don't think they're that good.
No.
But they always find their way into a 2 or 3 seed, and then they end up getting mollywop.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm out on Michigan State as a blue blood, but Indiana is above Michigan State in the blue blood pecking order for me.
Yeah.
So.
Notorious B.I.B. I can't roll with that one. That's
because here's your bias, Stricky.
That's a little fresh.
Why are you hating that
it
one?
It ain't got nothing to do with Houston. It don't got nothing to do with Houston.
I can see it in your eyes. I can hear it in your voice. It's got everything to do with Houston.
Negative.
Strick thinks SMU is a blue blood, but Houston's not.
No, Virginia missed the mark for me too.
Another school that had a chance.
3880. I don't know what it was. They were on the verge, I think, of breaking through, and then I can't pull the trigger on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are some. You can't say Wake Forest. You can't say anybody like that.
No.
Even with,
NC State.
you can't say it. So yeah, new bloods. I think up and coming new bloods. So if you're saying that Notorious B.I.B. and up and coming, but I can see possibly if Sampson stays there and continues to run, and then it carries on to his son.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could see something like that working.
Baylor and Scott Drew. How long do you got to stay there?
I'm still not there on Scott Drew. I'm
Okay.
still not there. Nebraska, yeah, they're up and coming.
Preach it,
I'm only
Preach it,
speaking
Stricky.
life into that.
Preach!
I'm only speaking life. That is not so at this particular time. I'm only speaking life. Now,
St. John's, Ted?
I was
No.
going to say that, but no, I can't. Carnesecca did have some nice runs,
He
you know,
did.
the Mullen era and all of that, but
not enough.
Not enough. It's just not enough. Ted, I almost said it, but I couldn't put my mouth to speak that into existence. So, who else? And no one in the North. No one in the North.
Arkansas had a chance. UNLV had a chance. Didn't capitalize enough.
I agree.
Illinois had a chance.
Oh
Hasn't
yeah,
done
went
enough.
back in the battle.
D.
and
Brown.
D. Brown. Yeah.
Illinois had a chance. Didn't get there. I'm trying to think through. Washington should always be better than it is. There's a lot of hoops talent up in Seattle.
There's a lot of hoops talent in Seattle. I don't know why they can't keep him home. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's a treasure trove of talent in the North. I mean, you've got Jamal Crawford that came out, Jet Terry that came out of there.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yes.
Paulo Banchero.
I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but it's something about it that they don't stay. I don't know if it's the rain or it's the crying because it's always freaking cloudy up there and they just want some sun. But they all go back there and play in leagues.
Yeah, all the time.
So, yeah.
The other one that had a chance in kind of the early to mid 2000s and 2010s, Stanford. Stanford had some ballers there for a while, and they just completely fell off the cliff. So, good stuff. UConn takes down Purdue. Purdue is not anywhere near blue blood
Dang,
status.
we didn't
or
even
new
really
blood
get
status.
to dig into that. But
we got time. We can get into it later.
we didn't get to dig in because I definitely want to dig into the numbers. And because we talked about it on the show the day before about what Connecticut would need to do in order to solidify this and what Purdue did not do in order to capture the national championship. And I'm going to say this right now before we go to break is the fact that Zach Edey did everything that he could do. Listen, I put my rabbit's foot in my mouth, pause, because I wasn't high on Zach Edey, but this year was a turning point for me as regards to Zach Edey because I saw him grow. And yes, he had some mistakes, but he changed the mistakes. Like it would have been consistent mistakes last year. Like he wouldn't have figured it out, but he would get caught. Then he started figuring things out in game, in which I've got to give him kudos for that.
That's awesome. Let's recap the national championship officially at 3:00. Then we'll get into the new transfer rules at 3:30. But hey, we got the shootout with Strick to play. Call now, 402-464-5685. If you are an astute listener, you can probably guess where this round of the shootout is going.
Come get it.
Now, champ by forfeit.
No,
last time.
I won.
You got your music. It's because you're my partner, and I appreciate you. But let's have an actual shootout today. 402-464-5685. We'll play the game to wrap up hour one of On the Block in just a sec.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone back with the latest update from Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, your new car selection keeps getting better and better every month. Can you tell our listeners all about it?
It sure is, Charlie. It's great that our customers can come in, pick out a new Honda, and drive away with it that day.
How many new Hondas do you have in stock?
Well, right now we have just about 100 in stock.
Hey, I hear you've won some very important awards in your service department. Tell us about them.
Well, the first one is we won the award for the first fixed award. So the cars are actually fixed on the very first time they're brought in. Second award is our Customer Service Experience Award. And then our third award is our Honda Express Service Elite. And we rank the best in quality and customer satisfaction.
Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
If you're looking for a pre-owned tractor to upgrade your operation this year, you'll find a wide selection at your local Landmark Implement. We'll work with you to find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. During the month of April, get financing as low as 3.9% for up to 72 months on model year 21 through 23 wheeled 8R tractors. Visit landmarkimp.com to see our complete inventory or stop by your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition Authority inviting you to stop in and check out the all-new complete post-workout recovery, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today and try a free sample or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and air park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries. Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through April 9th is buy one, get one free on 8-ounce flat iron steaks, limit 4 per visit. Also, $1.50 off all Bachan's Japanese barbecue sauces. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Take your internet service to new levels with Allo, your award-winning internet provider across our fiber hoods. Allo isn't just about the fastest internet available. It's about connecting you to your world, work, and play seamlessly. Our award-winning service ensures affordable, secure, and reliable connectivity, setting us apart. Ready to transform your internet experience? Experience the fiber difference today. Sign up now at allofiber.com. Allo, connecting your world.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Erick Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
Need a contestant. 402-464-5685. Look at Stricky, chomping at the bit, ready to go.
Let's get it.
Don't duck him. Don't duck him. Don't duck him. Come on. Strick wants some.
I'm ready. You know, are you gonna watch the Tyson and Jake Paul fight? What you thinking?
I am not going to, because if I haven't paid for a Terrence Crawford fight, why would I pay for
I agree.
watching a legitimate boxer
And he doesn't want
beat up some poor sap?
He doesn't even, the rules are just not even
Whatever.
right.
Yeah.
Not even right.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I hope Mike Tyson wins in about 17 seconds.
Oh man.
So.
Just you know what you're gonna see when you see the walk to the ring? Just look in his eyes.
Mm.
Let's see if he really wants this smoke. Watch him when he's standing in the ring, because you know Mike Tyson gives you the little stare. Like he doesn't move. And then he rolls his neck. He rolls his neck like that, and then he gives you just this stare. And he just looks.
That is
he
business.
might look at your feet, but he looks back at you. We're gonna see what Jake Paul's really made of, because Mike Tyson still looks good. Now,
Do you think he's made of something or not?
I think he's made of paper, and I'm talking
Paper
about
tiger?
that and the paper money. Like he wants, it's all about the money. You know, he don't mind going in there. Like if Tyson swings a hook and it glances, he might just go down and start getting wobbly just cause. If he if he feels a body blow and he's like, oh my gosh,
I'm not actually this wobbly, but I got to act
I
this
didn't
wobbly.
freaking stepped into the ring with a tiger, like a lion. Like he might change his mind and just take a little cross with a little glance to it and just be like, I can't do it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I want to see revenge though, because of what he did to my boy, little Nate Dogg Robinson.
Yeah, that was not good. For
That's
Nate
not
Robinson.
fair. I need revenge.
You also have a belt to defend. We lost our caller.
We
That's
lost.
a bummer.
You play the music.
We got a minute or
Play the
two.
music,
We got a minute or two, Stricky. We got a minute or two.
What's going on?
402-464-5685. We have just a minute or two here. If you still want to call and take on Stricky in the shootout. Yeah, I'm not sold on Jake Paul. I'm also not sold on, Mike Tyson. He's none of these old by any means, but old enough.
Mike is about what, 57, 8?
Something like that?
He might be 56. I know he's not too. I will say this. Is there somebody there?
I think we got somebody. Caller, what's your name?
Hang up one more time.
Hello, Earth
Hello,
the caller.
sorry, can you hear me?
We can.
we
What's
can't
your
hear
name?
you. We can't hear. We can't hear you. No, I'm just playing.
We do got. What's your name?
It's Elion.
Elion, thanks for calling back, my man. We'll give Strick his
Elion
questions and
talks a
get
lot
to
of
you.
trash.
How about that?
We're gonna have a good fight today. If we're gonna let Elion, maybe I might even just be nice and let him get stricken today. He's a good guy. He's cool.
He is. All right, Elion, hold on the line. We'll give Strick his questions first and then get to you. All right, Strick, your round of the shootout starts here in 3, 2, and 1. This school won a national championship by the largest margin ever, UNLV or UConn?
UConn.
UNLV. This school won the last championship to go to overtime, Virginia or Kansas?
Kansas.
Virginia. This Power 6 conference has the most national championships, the Big East or the ACC?
ACC.
It is the ACC. And this school has won the most championships of all time.
UCLA.
Bang. There you go, Stricky. There you go.
Dang it! I knew those!
It's okay. That's still a 3-point round.
I'm not happy right
Still a 3-point round. Elion, 3 to tie, 4 more to win. You ready for your round of the shootout?
Yeah, it's light, man.
All right, here we go. Your round starts in 3, 2, and 1. This school is the last champion to win the championship game by just 1 point. Indiana or North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Indiana. This school was the first to win 2 national championships. Oklahoma State or San Francisco?
San Francisco.
Oklahoma State. This Power 6 conference has the fewest national championships, the Big 12 or the Big 10?
Big 12.
It is the Big 12. And this school is the most recent school to win its first national championship.
Baylor.
Nailed it. Freaking nailed it. That is a tie. We go
That's some bull,
to the
Chuck, man. You give
tiebreaker.
me
What a
easy stuff,
pull.
man.
Yeah, sir, man. I told you it was light.
You did tell us it was light. All right. Now, Elion, hold on the line. You will go over or under Strick's number. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay, here's the question. How many consecutive titles did UCLA win under John Wooden? How many consecutive men's basketball titles did UCLA win under John Wooden?
10.
Stricky says 10. Elion, over or under 10?
I think it's under by 1. Under.
Boom shakalaka.
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
UCLA has won 11 championships, 7 in a row.
He said under.
I said in a row, not total. 7 in a row. 1967 to 1973.
I thought it was a total.
I said in a row.
Stop lying, man. You lost. Stop lying. You heard the question.
I said in a row. It is right here, written down. Elion, congrats on the win. Hold on the line. We'll get you hooked up with your $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings.
All right, thank you.
Stricky, that was intense.
Not happy right now.
Let's get you to break. Let's get you some milk coffee.
I want to
Just make
throw
you
the
feel
coffee
good.
at the.
Nah. This is a nice studio.
No,
Keep our stuff clean.
Not happy. Okay. All right.
Elion wins. We'll see if Strick comes back in hour 2.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bosden. Education is a cornerstone to building a strong, vibrant community. I voted for the historic increase in funding for education in the legislature. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe Lincoln is a great place to work and raise a family. My husband Reggie and I are local business owners and understand the valuable role of education in our community. This is Carolyn Bosden, and I am asking for your vote on May 14th, paid for by Bosden for Legislature.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Take your internet service to new levels with Allo, your award-winning internet provider across our fiber hoods. Allo isn't just about the fastest internet available. It's about connecting you to your world, work, and play seamlessly. Our award-winning service ensures affordable, secure, and reliable connectivity, setting us apart. Ready to transform your internet experience? Experience the fiber difference today. Sign up now at allofiber.com. Allo, connecting your world.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Spring Sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes and family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got feuding
and tailgating tradition. Burnouts, beer, and barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time, and you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends. Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition Authority inviting you to stop in and check out the all-new complete post-workout recovery, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today and try a free sample or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Elion, if you're still listening, we lost your connection. If you're not still listening, I told Coach Jake to remind you that you have 30 days to come in and pick up your $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Stricky, you good? You ready for hour two?
I'm straight, man. I'm good now. I'm good. I take a breath. Sometimes you need to sit down and just woosah, put the fingers up and do the crossover and then breathe and meditate on it. I did. I'm good now.
Last 4 minutes of the first half didn't go your way. Nice little halftime breather. Let's respond with a run here out of the locker room. How about that?
Yeah.
Purdue did not do that against UConn. That's what we're going to get into here in this segment, really going through the matchups that we talked about yesterday, before the game even happened. We told you it was going to happen, right? Stricky told you how the brackets were going to go. Should have listened to him. And this show told you exactly what matchups you needed to pay attention to in the national championship game. And it worked out just like that. I want to thank NEBCO for their sponsorship of the show. We want your thoughts on last night's game on the text line 402-464-5685. Stricky, let's start with Purdue. They weren't the number one overall seed. They're in contention for it, but they finally make their way back to the Final Four. For the first time in 44 years, they get NC State. They handled that matchup. Wouldn't say they dominated that game. the path for Purdue to winning this game was, in my opinion, to make it rain from three. That's how Kansas and Creighton, handed UConn 2 of their 3 losses here throughout the year. Purdue didn't even make it drizzle. I mean, Purdue from 3-point range was drier than Phoenix, where they played. Purdue made 1 3-point shot. One. Purdue was one of 7 from 3-point range. Purdue made 2 shots outside of the paint all night long. If you told me Purdue only made 1 3-pointer, yeah, I'm telling you, UConn wanted a blowout.
Well, even more than that, right? Okay, so we know that that's the case because here's the thing. Both teams didn't shoot the ball well.
Yeah.
This is why the number, what they do on the brackets, right? They tell you what the score is going to be, or you have to put that total score.
Mm-hmm.
My total score was 132 and it was 135. I was 3 out. I figured it wasn't going to be that run and gun because Purdue style, one of the things.
Even UConn doesn't play that fast.
They don't play that fast, but they decided, because this is where we're going to get into the detail. I'm not going to go there yet because we're going to break that down. But here's the thing. You look at both of those numbers, none of those numbers really were significant on either side. But here's what was significant. And this is what I didn't think would happen, because although UConn across the board is very tall, you're looking at 6'5", 6'6", 6'6". I mean, shoot, even Caravan is like 6'8", 6'9", Klingon 7'2", Castle 6'6", Newton 6'6", Spencer's like 6'5". So across the board, they're very long. But it's not the dominant factors that you would have thought. You thought maybe it would have been Sampson dominating on the offensive glass or someone like that.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't necessarily the case. It was the guards. It wasn't even Klingon.
No.
So it just, to me, that they wanted it more. So you're looking at offensive rebounds, which I'm thinking Mason. I mean, you saw him attacking. I'm thinking Lawyer absolutely was a no-show. Like, he could have just sat in the back
and done more.
He could have sat in the back, crossed his legs, read a paper, and he would have done more by helping the team. No show there. Foul trouble for Jones. Smith, better.
But not good.
But not great, not good. Kaufman, nothing. One of the best things that happened was Heidi, that dunk he had on the tip end.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
But that's all.
That's
all he had.
That's all
they had.
had.
It was nice, but
none of them else. You thought maybe Gillis would show up, but here's why they didn't show up, and that's what we're going to break down. So there's what you're looking at. The rebound on the offensive side was dominated by UConn, and they won the rebounding battle almost by double digits, by 8. And so there's where you have a lot of the problems. Now, another issue was in different points. It wasn't that the turnovers were horrible.
No.
It wasn't that it was an over-fouled game on both parts, but they were timely turnovers, right? That's trying to get back into the game, trying to maybe get a lead, trying to, maybe get you're down 2, trying to maybe just get back the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Turnover. And it was timely. It was Edie, maybe in the post. And that's another part of the thing that we're going to talk about. So we're going to get into that. But that's what I wanted to just see on the onset as to how this kind of opened up the way that it did.
Let's start with Zach Edey. Definitely the headline of the game for Purdue. 37 points. I'm pretty sure that's the most in a tournament championship losing effort ever. Also had 10 rebounds, which isn't necessarily a lot, but still got his double-double, blocked 2 shots. But Strick, the fact that Zach Edey had to score 37 points for Purdue, that the other guys that saw the floor only scored 23 points, and half of those came from Braden Smith, who did have 8 assists, pretty much all of them to Zach Edey. Wow. I mean, what a way for Zach Edey to go out on offense. I think he answered some questions like, hey, is there a role for him, as a backup scoring big in the NBA? But despite his monster numbers, he didn't have that big an impact on the outcome of the game.
No, not on the defensive side, and not necessarily. Yeah, not necessarily on the defensive side, but they just said that we're going to continue to go to them because there was nothing else to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things, and this is probably why it happened the way that they did, it was the matchup, the 2 Goliaths in the middle. You can say to yourself, that, yes, Zach Edey can give us numbers, give us 15 for 25 shooting, 37 points. He can get buckets all night long, but it's going to be the timely misses. It's going to be, as I said, first quarter, they're going to let Zach Edey just go one-on-one with Clingan. It's just going to be him and him. They're going to get after it. And he showed up, and he was working Clingan out, working him out. Then you go off the bench. Sampson was no answer. Nobody else could handle him. They were going inside. But what happened was late in the second half of the first half. When I say second half of the first half, I mean after the 10-minute mark.
Yeah.
What you found was hard double teams, get hands on balls, making it tough. He's going to the hook, and then there's an extra guy jumping in there. He misses. That kind of just gave him a little room to create a little bit of space to open up just a little bit of a lead. And you do that enough over the course of time, you're going to have what you had, which is a 15-point lead over the course of the game. That's really what the game plan was. We're going to throw these late traps or these late doubles, these late digs, these late jumping with extra guys in the paint just to cause him to get a miss or two because they weren't crashing.
No.
They weren't crashing. So now you got your guards. Freaking leading rebounds was Spencer.
Yeah.
For them. And those guys were just coming in and scooping it up. That was all they needed to win this game.
Donovan Clingan asked for the one-on-one matchup with Zach Edey. We heard after the game. He said, "Coach, let me have him." Zach Edey, I think, won that battle for the most part in terms of the numbers.
You saw how hard he was breathing when he went to the bench?
Oh, my gosh.
That's what I talked about.
Those minutes added up.
They add up, bro. When you're bumping and grinding. Oh, and then the other part of it, before you dig, the last part I was going to say is you saw the Sampsons and even Clingan, the running, and then there's a couple of instances because Zach didn't come out of the game for the most part. Zach Edey,
he played 39 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what you had to do, and that's what I talked about. You've got to run them legs off of Braden and all of them guys.
Let's start with the legs of Edey, because I think in some ways, Purdue men and Iowa women are similar. Caitlin Clark's a bigger star than Zach Edey.
Good point.
But Caitlin Clark really never came out of the game. Iowa was so dependent on her.
Yeah.
Same for Purdue. Strick, 156 out of 160 total minutes over the last 2 weekends. Now, Zach Edey's going to the pros, right? He's a probably late first-round pick at this point. So I can respect Matt Painter trying to squeeze everything he can out of him. That's the way they've played all year. But maybe if Matt Painter could have found a time, to give him an extra 30 seconds before a media timeout or called a timeout more strategically over the last 2 weekends, not just yesterday.
Talk to me.
Maybe that would have saved some legs. He wouldn't have gotten as cooked on defense, would have had some more in the tank because it's a 15-point game, but Purdue's only down 6 at half.
Right.
And UConn didn't have a huge run to pull away. They're just possession by possession by possession. The body blows, the legs added up. So maybe saving a possession here or there keeps Purdue in striking distance.
So so there was multiple things that I said. They're going to let him match 1-on-1. That's one of the things I said. They did that.
Yep, all night.
They're going to run him.
Which they did all night.
All night. Then one of the other things that I said about this game was Painter was going to get out-coached. Right?
You did say that.
I said, look, because what you just said, that's smart coaching. But you're in a position where this is the first one, possibly. Same thing with Iowa now.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Like you said, I love that. I love that what you just brought up. It was the same thing. Caitlin Clark, all the minutes added up. I don't care what you say. All the minutes, the LSU, I don't care. You got a week off, but then that game, 2 days, and you were getting pressured just the same. And they were getting after you just the same. You just happened to pull the game off.
Yeah.
Good. But that thing, because Raven was hawking her.
All day.
Like at first she was able to get it off because whoever was covering, I can't remember who was covering her, they were letting her get space. And then Don Staley was like, no, Raven, come on over here. And because Don was trying to preserve Raven. It was, and I can remember this because when I was in high school, right? my biggest rival was Andre Rollridge. Okay. So I think I want to say Benson beat us. I want to say I know they beat us maybe 2 times, and I think we maybe beat them 3 because I think one season we beat them in season and in the tournament. So I think I ended up getting them 3 because I know we beat them my freshman year. I know we beat them my sophomore year. They beat us their junior year, but then we beat them in the tournament. And my senior year, they beat us, I think, at Bellevue West. So I think we got them 3 out of 2. But what I'm saying is, he was my rival. This is I'm making a point. I would not cover Andre until it was meaningful minutes. This is what Don was trying to do with Raven. He was not trying to take her legs away, although she's not a jump shooter, but still, when you're running the point, you want to run it with, sound mind. You want to be poised. You don't want to be tired because then, tired mind kind of just gets lackadaisical, starts making mistakes, so forth and so on. That's what she was trying to do, but then it got to a point where she was like,
Killing at 18 in the first quarter.
No, she's like, come on over here. And then from that point on, she went silent for the whole dang near second quarter, came back in the third, ripped her at the end of the half. So this is the same thing they were trying to do with Edey. Let him go nuts, clinging. Whenever he's off of him, we're just going to try to bang him. We're going to double him. We're going to force him. And he made mistakes. When Clingan was out, he didn't overly dominate until late in the second half.
Yeah.
So, that's what they did.
The biggest part of the strategy to single cover Edey is what we said, is that if Purdue's going to win, it's going to be by shooting threes, not through Zach Edey.
Yeah.
What single covering Zach Edey allowed UConn to do was face guard the perimeter guys. I also think Painter got out coached. I didn't see a whole lot of action off the ball to try to get guys open.
It was all to
Purdue.
Edey. Yeah.
It was. Purdue wasn't moving, but they weren't even trying. Like, UConn stuck like glue to their guys on the perimeter because we heard it on the broadcast before the game. We said it. Purdue's okay off of kick out passes from Edey. They're at their best when they get the kick out, drive, extra pass, boom. None of that. That dried up because UConn stayed attached and was more athletic. Purdue couldn't drive if it wanted to.
That's that part. Fletcher Lawyer wasn't used to having that kind of size with that kind of ability to move. They challenged everything that he took towards the rim. All jumpers were challenged.
Lawyer only got 1 3 off. Lawyer got 1 3 off. Lance Jones got 1 3 off. Gillis got 1 3 off.
Yeah.
How do you only get those 3 guys with 3 combined attempts from 3? That's coaching malpractice.
There you go, bro. Like, it was, the game plan was Edey, and you thought, this is coaching. When you're coaching, sometimes you've got to think not just what we're trying to do, but what they're going to try to do to us. And we need to have a counter for what they do to us. Multiple counters available. Okay, so if they do this, then boom, we need to do this. But if we do, because the stagnation of not getting those other guys involved, it cost them. Because when you needed to make a shot or you needed to create a shot, they weren't able to do it in any shape or form. And that's why they end up coming up short.
What would you have done for Purdue? Is it as simple as cut someone like a 45 cut from the backside wing just to get some movement? Is it screen away on the perimeter? How would you have gotten everyone else more involved?
You have to have the thing about UConn that made them so difficult is the fact that they can switch. Pretty much across the board.
Yeah.
Great feet work from from Spencer. Caravan even can guard pretty well.
Castle's a dog.
Castle guard, they threw him on Smith just for that length, that size, that physicality. So the only thing I could say is focal Edey misdirection with slips.
Okay.
Hear what I'm saying. Edey one side, action to Edey to come strong side, catch with Edey with some form of flare action. These plays aren't for Edey.
No.
But they're because everybody believes Edey's getting the ball. Flare action weak with some form of a slip to the basket with like Gillis or one of their other bigs, right? Occupying If you believe, now this is the part. I don't know if Edie's that good of a passer for drop. Like if that was Rink Mass, I'd probably be like, yeah.
All day.
Drop, because I don't know if he has that kind of drop pass game. I think he's an over top type of passer. So that would have probably been tough, but that's the only thing that I could see. Strong side Edie action with weak side misdirection with some form of cut to the basket and some action. And the other problem that they did, they kept guys strong side instead of cutting them out. That's where they got turnovers. So
had that other hand in there to.
Yes, they were passing it inside to Edie, and instead of clearing space, because in college there's not a whole bunch of space, not like in the NBA. So now you've got guys that were sitting in his lap with no movement. And these guys are coming down, digging, and causing problems for Edie. So they didn't start doing that until late in the second half where they started cutting out.
Right.
Yeah.
Purdue didn't scheme up any help for Braden Smith in ball handling. They didn't scheme up any help for Zach Edey in the half court. Goes to your point, the Painter got not just outcoached, completely outclassed by Dan Hurley. And this is where I want to jump off with this year, Strick. I think some Big Ten schools, administrators, coaches would say, hey, look, the Big Ten style of play can get us to a national championship. To me, the takeaway is the Big Ten style of play gets you murked in the national championship. I think about Dan Hurley at Rhode Island. His teams weren't running the kind of actions, let alone he didn't have the athletes that he does at UConn at Rhode Island, but they weren't running the same sets, the same action. Dan Hurley adapted, and he got better players. The Big Ten cannot afford to say, oh, yeah, look at what a traditional big man can do. Number one, Zach Edey's not exactly traditional at 7'4", but the Big Ten has to get more athletic and it has to get more creative if it wants to snap the now 24 season drought without a national championship.
Yeah, man, that needs to happen. It needs to happen. And this is one of the things that I have with regard to Nebraska. Nebraska, I believe, had a solid grouping of guys, everybody across the board, solid. Any given night, one could go off, solid. But there's no one that has takeover ability. This is one of the only things that distinguished UConn. Newton was takeover.
Yeah,
they went to him, actions going to him, coming off screens, creating, dropping off dimes, if not dropping off buckets. Spencer in point guard. In a couple of instances, Spencer got in there, worked his mojo, boom, put some fadeaways in the paint.
Shooting
big
guard.
Buckets. There's no one on Nebraska's team that could do that.
No.
Casey can get on a burner, but Casey needs action and help to get him more shots. He's not going to be able to just like if he's on one where he's giving you work, he can step off and hit a couple of them, string pullers, couple, but it's not going to be consistent, right? There's no one, and that's to include, and I don't know if Bryce is assertive enough. Just my opinion.
Fair.
CJ can get on one, but then CJ can get locked up. You can get locked up, where you can't even get one off.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you get super athletic guys that ain't going for any of the foolishness, Sam, great scrapper, he can't get it off. They don't have no one that really can do that.
Right.
Now, in my time, it was, Dron could get it. Dron can, set a guy down, get to a spot. He's 6'6". He can rise up over a 6'2" guy at any time he wanted. Me, I go down and put you in the post. You put the wrong guy on me. If you put a bigger guy on me, I put him on the wing and work him over, So we had guys, Teron, Allen Iverish, he can, we can get him up top and give you a cross or two and break it down and get you worked. So we had guys that can do that when it was needed, but they don't. And this is what you're talking about. And we're just speaking about Nebraska because we just happen to be here.
Yeah, but I think UConn's a decent example for Nebraska. Not that Nebraska's on UConn's level, but Dan Hurley's running a lot of NBA stuff. Fred Hoiberg, we know his stuff works in the NBA to some degree. I'm with you that Nebraska might need to run more sets next year to get guys in better position.
Yeah.
But I think Dan Hurley and Fred Hoiberg are on a somewhat similar wavelength, at least to some degree. But the difference between Nebraska's balance and UConn's balance is that UConn knew who the closers were. Castle's an X factor. He's not the guy they're going to late. Caravan's a nice player. He wasn't hot, but he's not the guy they're going to late. Klingon, for all his domination, it mostly came on defense and lobs. UConn has their no doubt guy in Tristan Newton. They knew. I mean, everyone on UConn's starting lineup, last I checked, had a usage percentage of between 15 and 23%. That's incredibly balanced, which means the usage percentage is what percentage of the time does that player finish a possession with a made basket, made free throw, or turnover, or shot or turnover, essentially. Between 15 and 23%, that's incredible balance. But when things got tight, what did UConn go to? They went to action for Spencer once or twice. They went to a lob to Klingon once or twice, but the ball was in Newton's hands.
And
he commanded that sucker.
And they had been setting up. This is why I'm talking about coaching. They had been setting up all night with Klingon out front. Then they bring in Sampson, and it was because he's quicker. It was hard rolls. It was set there. Newton was killing, and it was enough to get Zach Edey to just hold a piece, but it was too late for a quick rolling, and they threw a couple of those lobs to Sampson. But they've been setting it up all night because at first Newton was getting off. This is the progression that we talk about. Newton been getting off because it was the lag of coming out from Zach Edey. Newton was able to get to spots and bop, 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 drop them off. Now, all of a sudden, Painter and the group are like, hey, you got to step up a little bit. You step up just enough, and then a quick roll from a Sampson, because you're not going to do that with Klingon. He doesn't roll like that, but Sampson does.
Talk about that difference, too. Like, it's a split second.
Yeah.
Because Klingon's moving, but Johnson's moving.
Right.
How much does that split second of timing affect a guy like Zach Edey on defense? Just that difference between how hard they roll.
I mean, it's enough to just allow the ball to get 2 to 3 inches above your fingers. You look at the replays. I mean, the ball just barely was able to get over his head or over his hand and get to where it's marked. You know what I mean? But it's just because of that. There's no way to recover. There's no way to get back enough because the screen was set right. It was rolled correctly, and the timing was perfect.
So the best defensive big men in the NBA can adjust to timing better. Those changes, is that fair to say?
It's just the speed of the game is so much. That's the one thing, because it looks so easy. It looks like you're not playing. You don't realize how fast 24 seconds is. Like you just kind of think that they're just kind of, they look like they're moseying. Yeah, but things are happening very fast.
It's with a purpose.
Yeah, things are happening very fast. And just those guys are able to see something, get to it quicker. This is why your jumper has to, you can't just have that set jumper. You got to have that quick release jumper. This is why Steph, this is why Ray Allen, this is why these guys are so good. And because they're able, it doesn't matter if you're not there on catch or you're not there
before catch,
it's over with. It's over with. It's gone. So this is why you have to work on things like getting your jumper off quicker. I mean, that was one of the things that Kiki Vandeweghe worked with me on, is getting it to the shot pocket quicker from wherever it was at. Just being able to move it to the shot pocket to be able to get it off quickly instead of catching it, setting it, and shooting it. It was ha 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 ha. Everything was like that. So that's one of the things that's important. Jay out there riding a scooter today.
Full on a scooter. I think he was doing it manually too. Does Jay not know they have like the little
I guess so.
gas?
It's kind of old school. That's why they call it old
We're
school.
here working and Jay Foreman's out there playing. So
that's a fact.
Whatever. We'll take a break. We'll get into maybe some more hoops, maybe some NCAA transfer portal changes that could be on the horizon. We're not sure. It'll be one of those two things. If you want to find out, come back with us.
Hi, I'm Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised in Lancaster County, learning the value of hard work and grit at a young age. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. I know that families and businesses in our community need lower taxes, lower cost of healthcare, and a great education. That's why, as your senator, I helped pass the largest tax cut and made the most significant investment in education in Nebraska history and worked to reduce the cost of healthcare. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on May 14th. Paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition Authority, inviting you to stop in and check out the all-new complete post-workout recovery, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today and try a free sample or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
Take your internet service to new levels with Allo, your award-winning internet provider across our fiber hoods. Allo isn't just about the fastest internet available. It's about connecting you to your world, work, and play seamlessly. Our award-winning service ensures affordable, secure, and reliable connectivity, setting us apart. Ready to transform your internet experience? Experience the fiber difference today. Sign up now at allofiber.com. Allo, connecting your world.
Cover more acres with a pre-owned sprayer or planter from Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer. We offer one of the area's largest selections of used sprayers, applicators, planters, and seeders. Through the month of April, take advantage of fixed-rate financing as low as 4.5% for up to 60 months or an 8-month interest waiver. Visit your local Landmark location or view our complete sprayer and seeding inventory online at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road. Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and air park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We put all of our topics into one big bowl. You might call it a portal. And we're going to transfer them to the radio. I don't know about that, but we are talking NCAA transfer portal here during On the Block. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland with you, brought to you by Nebco. About 7, 8, 9 days from now, the NCAA Division I Council, according to this article I'm reading from ESPN, first reported by The Athletic, this NCAA Division I Council could adopt emergency legislation for a new transfer rule. Okay, new transfer rules. I think most of us are, on board with that, at least in theory, with how crazy the transfer portal has gotten. Here's the new rule, potentially. That would allow all undergraduate athletes to transfer and play immediately if they meet specific academic requirements. Your initial reaction, Strick?
So once again, let's just quick backtrack. There's multiple things that are coming up. You have judges now starting to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
You have legislators starting to look at and consider, because of the NIL situation, whether to call them employees or whatever, they're starting to look at it. Now you've got this situation because what we talked about a long time ago. What is the purpose of NCAA? Mm-hmm. What is the NCAA's mainstay? It ain't football.
Nope.
It's basketball. That's the one thing that they control. They control March Madness. And so the paper tiger that had led the toothpaste get out of the they squeeze the whole thing out.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, no, we don't need that much. And they're trying to pull it.
But
they
think they need that much, but they're being told to put some back in the tube.
So now they're trying to figure out, how can we interject to maintain some semblance of sanity in the Wild Wild West, instead of Doc Holliday going into every bar and blowing everything up and shooting up the spot.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it's like now. You know what I mean? It's so wild that it's like the old Western movies of the old day where, you walk into town and you get to just do whatever you like until the sheriff or whoever it is comes in and says, no, we can't have that. That's what they're trying to be, the sheriff trying to rein in whoever the rebel Wild West
Whiter
shooter, right?
Butch Cassidy.
Whoever, yeah, they're trying to do that.
Jesse James.
That's what we got going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if the rule is gonna. You're trying to do it by way of grades.
Yeah, what do you make of that? Tying it to academic standing to give you a free transfer.
I mean, I can understand why they're trying to do that, but again, they're dealing with judges that are basically saying you can't limit somebody as to where they want to go and
when they want to go.
When they want to go. So I can understand they're just trying to figure out a way, because the numbers of the transfer portal just over the inception have gone. The numbers have went from small numbers because people are still kind of filling it out, and it's just making these leaps and bound jumps every year. I mean, I think just about 3 weeks ago, you're over 2,000. I mean, it's still going, still increasing. So somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to be disappointed. There's going to be a lot of kids that don't get opportunities to do better or exceed where they are. And that's why what ends up happening is, guess what? Kids end up going down because they don't have numbers. They don't have anything to show for why you should fill in for this next guy. And then all of a sudden they go somewhere, they play well, and then they're out again. So they're never going where they want to go. They're just going there to try to make a name for themselves.
Guess how many men's basketball players have entered the transfer portal this cycle so
like
far?
I said, it was over 2,000 when about 3 weeks ago when we talked. I'm going to say it's got to be 3,500 now.
The number that I'm seeing according to On3 is 841.
Oh, there's 841?
Yeah.
Total?
Yeah.
Oh, so then they must have been talking about, this must have been football numbers then.
Yeah, there's a lot more football players.
Okay, that must have been football. Yeah. So basketball, I think we were talking football at the time. Okay,
Yeah.
we're talking basketball. 200?
Yeah, 841.
Oh, 841.
841 right now.
But that's a lot when you're talking about 12-man teams.
Right.
And only, 132
football
schools?
teams, but there's 362 or 363 men's basketball teams. So there's a lot out there, but still 841.
If you break that down, that's like almost what, 2 a team, roughly? What is that? What's the math?
Yeah, it would be about 2.5 a team.
Oh, about 2.5
give
a
or
team.
take. Yeah. So those are the numbers just right now. The couple things that stand out to me about this potential new rule, Strick. Number one is all undergraduate athletes, whether you're redshirted or you're up to, a junior. You still have the grad transfer rule in place, obviously, but any one of those. Doesn't matter if you've transferred before. It doesn't matter if you thought about transferring before. It doesn't matter if you went, D2 to D1 or D1 to D2, whatever. All undergraduate athletes, as long as they're in good academic standing. That is the next part, because what if, let's say someone has a, 2.9 at Nebraska or 3.1 at Nebraska, somewhere in there. Is that good enough academic standing if they want to go back closer to home at Stanford, potentially?
Probably not for Stanford.
Right. But that's where I feel like your Stanfords, your Virginias, your Northwesterns, your Georgia Techs, guys that go there initially are going to have an easier time with academic standing, in terms of the transfer. And I wonder if there's going to be an NCAA standard for what academic good standing, good qualification is for the transfer portal, or if that's still going to be up to the institution on a school-by-school basis.
I don't know if I have an answer for that one.
Just a question. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know on that one, Austin. That's a tough one. Throw that one to the Wolves in the Sauter-Heyman text line. See if they got something for that. It's tough, man. It's hard out here. It's difficult out here. It's really, really tough to figure this whole thing out. And what can you do with it? And how can you make it work? And it's tough.
Other aspects include still the 2 transfer windows. So the preseason and the postseason window, essentially, and unable to transfer mid-year and play for a second school in the same season. I think of, who was it from Kansas State that ended up transferring and then ended up at Memphis? There's the guy who's the grad transfer from K-State who transferred and then was at least eligible to play. I don't know if he ever got on the floor for Penny in Memphis, but it's 1 school per year as long as you're in good academic standing. Maybe it solves some issues, but tying it to academics, Strick, sure, let's say that's what college is supposed to be all about. Clearly, I don't think these coaches think that way or athletic directors think that way. Maybe some presidents and chancellors do.
Yeah.
But to me, the NCAA, making these rules and tying them to academics, I think that's more of a way to try to save face than actually stand for something right. Because I think this is going to cause some unintended problems, especially if there's not one national standard. Is that fair?
Yeah. I think I don't think across the board national standard is going to work. I don't think it is. I think you're putting limits or constraints on higher learning or higher standard universities. I don't think that's fair either. That's like saying, you're going to allow a 2.6 person into Harvard.
Right.
And you got to take it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's, you should be forced to. No, I just think schools should still have some autonomy to make decisions. Now, if they're state regulated, then obviously the state has determination to decide on if they want to fund them or
not.
But if
whatever.
like Harvard, I think they have an endowment that's a sick endowment to where they can operate on their own. They don't need state money, and so
just throw a number out there. How big do you think the Harvard endowment
is? In the billions, bro.
It is in the billions.
1.9 billion. Higher. 3.9. Higher. 10.9. Higher.
49.444 billion as of June 30th, 2022.
Yeah, there you go. I don't think you should force them to have to determine, they should be able to maintain the standard that they desire.
You would think. On the text line here before we go to break, Brett says, why can't every player have one free transfer? And if they transfer a second time, they have to sit for the season. It makes sense in theory, but the real world's not that cut and dry. Because what if someone transfers one time? Okay, they were sold a bill of goods, or it wasn't what met their expectations, so they go to their second school. Let's say someone back home gets sick, passes away, something tragic happens. Let's say there's a legitimate, incident of some sort, on campus, or they don't feel safe, they don't feel comfortable anymore. You wouldn't want someone, sure, they can transfer again, but to take away maybe their refuge, right, on the court in practice with a team that enjoys them, appreciates them, I don't think that's necessarily fair, especially in the case of tragedy. Life happens, and it sucks that life happens, but to say you can't play over here, sorry that, your mom's in the hospital with some bad illness, you can go home and see her, you just can't play basketball. That's not a great message to be sending either. So I understand it in theory. If everything works perfectly, and if it's just athletics, sure.
Yeah.
But there's so much more behind the scenes, Strick, that you know better than anyone in this room and in this conversation, all the stuff that goes down behind the scenes of being a student athlete.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I just don't. So listen, this is not political, but I want to just use this as an example. Everybody in some form or fashion figures out a way to game the system. This is what you have going on at our southern border, northern border, whatever border right now is.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is understood the means and method by which to game the system to be able to get in.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be situations like that
mm-hmm.
where, yes, there are real situations where people have family that they need to and want to be closer to. And then there are going to be people, unfortunately, that are going to game the system.
Mm-hmm. How do we limit the grift while making it the best for everyone else? It's tough.
It's tough. And that's what I'm saying. You're trying to figure out a means by which to do things, but there's always some loophole, some crack in the crevice that somebody's going to try to figure out and use to pervert the system.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I'm saying I'm not making a political statement one way or the other. I still think it's wild what's going on. It's just as wild as this transfer portal, but that's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to convey as a example to what's going on in transfer portal.
Two more to get to here really quickly. 4859 says, imagine only being able to transfer to schools that offered you out of high school. No. That's a no-go. And transferring should eliminate you from NIL at the next school. No. There are ways to make NIL better and not look like pay for play.
Right.
But eliminating you, that's not going to work. Dirty Tony and the boys. I'm not sure if your guys' stance here. Do you think students that have slacked in the classroom deserve another opportunity elsewhere with impunity? What kind of standard does that set? I don't hate tying it to academic standards, but also at the same time, maybe the academics are suffering because of something going on back home. You've chosen to put more effort into your athletics and into maybe whatever family situation is going on behind the scenes compared to school. You're doing enough to get by. Might not be your best work, might not be terrible. But that's, again, why some of that is so subjective, because it has to be taken case by case, individual by individual. But we've seen that's not feasible and how slow the NCAA moves and how arbitrary it can be. So in my opinion, Strick, the best system is, can we look at all these cases one by one to say, hey, yeah, this seems like you fit the criteria. You need to go home, get there, move on with your life, take care of business. Great. For some, they'd be judged very quickly. No, you're just looking, for the come. If you're looking for the bag, why didn't you stay put and stick it out? But that process is long. That process is slow if it's done right. And we've seen that doesn't work. That's the impasse we're at.
There it is. Unfortunately, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got. I don't know if there's a right answer or wrong answer to this one. It's very nuanced. Very nuanced.
It is. Jay Foreman's off his scooter. How about that? So I'm driving by at the start of the segment. Let's bring him in here to cross it over with Old School next. Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
This is Lancaster County Attorney Pat Condon reminding you to vote for my friend and colleague, Carolyn Bozin. Carolyn Bozin is a strong voice for Lincoln, who we need representing us in the legislature. Carolyn Bozin voted for historic funding for education to support our schools and for the largest property tax relief package in Nebraska history. Carolyn Bozin is the voice we need representing us in the legislature. This is Lancaster County Attorney Pat Condon. Join me in supporting Carolyn Bozin for legislature on May 14th.
Paid for by Bozin for legislature.
And grit at a young age. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. I know that families and businesses in our community need lower taxes, lower cost of healthcare, and a great education. That's why, as your senator, I helped pass the largest tax cut and made the most significant investment in education in Nebraska history and worked to reduce the cost of healthcare. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on May 14th. Paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition Authority, inviting you to stop in and check out the all-new complete post-workout recovery, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today and try a free sample or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Women may be complicated, but I make sure buying jewelry isn't. Your gal has a style, and you can figure this out. Is she more of a classic necklace kind of gal, or does she rock the boho chic vibe with layers of delicate bracelets? This is crucial intel. Not trusting your intel? Stop in the store and we'll sort out the details. I promise to make this super easy. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes and family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got feuding
and tailgating tradition. Burnouts, beer, and barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time, and you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Their birth.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Coach Jay Foreman in
What
the
up?
building.
Back in full effect.
Would you have
Jay on the
coached better than
scooter.
Matt Painter?
What'd you say?
Yeah, you're on a scooter. How
Yeah,
about
I
that?
did, man. I had to. A big shout out to A1 Automotive. I had to take the whip down there, try to get a little rehab going, and then I was trying to go back and forth. So I was all over the city of Lincoln. Didn't get hit, but I enjoy riding those scooters, man. But I look both ways.
What do they cost? Like, what does it cost to like ride one?
Just per minute. I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's per minute. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so you just rent them, wherever you need to go. Ideally, you ain't going too far.
It's what, 3 blocks
Yeah.
from here to A1?
Yeah,
But how many minutes is that on a scooter?
depends on the lights. I did break the law a little bit, but I had to get there. I wanted to make sure I got back in time.
Some people call it jaywalking. We'd call it jay scootering.
Yeah, that's right.
How about that?
Yeah, I got caught Jay scootering.
Would you have been a better coach than Matt Painter last night against UConn?
I mean, realistically, no. I just think that the game plan for them, for me, I always wonder why. I felt like UConn man-to-man wasn't a huge gap, like talent-wise, player to player, but I felt like it was a huge gap because of the continuity they have. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, Strick? Yeah. I feel like if you just took player to player, put them out there, skills, it's not too much of a difference, right? Now, I will tell you this. I think Purdue was surprised at the size and length of UConn. Like, take Edey and Donovan Clingan out. I'm talking about everybody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
The size, athleticism. I always wonder about this, man. You're in this winner-take-all, and you got the game within 6. Realistically, you probably should be closer to be, in my opinion, down by 2 or maybe tied at halftime. I felt like the last 2 possessions of Purdue just looked like you were just trying, you were like, let's get to halftime, hoping that you were only down by 2 or 4. You go down by 6. Okay, regroup. And you know that UConn is a great adjustment second half team. And you know that eventually they're going to just try to stifle you defensively. And we haven't gotten anybody else going on offense. Only thing I would have liked them to see, I would have liked to see them play maybe like a little bit of a matchup zone or some sort of jump, just to throw him off to see how UConn react to it.
Right.
One, I think it'd eliminate the size differential. Two, I think defensively and defensive rebounds, it would have saved Edey a little bit. I think they wore him out on both sides of the court. And so therefore, I feel like if you played, I guess, say a 2-3 zone or kind of I call it reverse boxing one, where Edey controls the lane and everybody else is like spread out like a spider web, and send him in. I think you save him some physically because he just got worn out. And you got to think he's only rested, I saw 33 seconds or
156 out of the last 160 minutes.
Right. He's played, right? And he was getting tired because they started, when they brought in Johnson, they started getting him up and down the court. And you saw the shots that were hitting in the first half were starting to be short. They were off target. So the turnaround hook that he was hitting, that was hitting either the front rim and going in, that's a shot that he works on. Mm-hmm. Well, then you start to see it hit the right side of the rim and short. Well, your legs are tired. I just feel like if they would have maybe done that and then maybe tried to do something else offensively to put more pressure on Connecticut, because I felt like they was doing the same things that UConn was prepared for.
Were you listening to us or something?
No, I wasn't. I honestly got.
I know this is the thing.
I was arguing. You saw me arguing. I was arguing with Nick.
Jay always
if Nick
Sainer
is out there, I got
solidifies what I say. Like, this is what I was just talking to him about. I was saying a lot of the same things you were saying because of that reason.
Right, and I don't. I mean, you see it sometimes.
And I said beforehand. I said my problem with most cases with Purdue is Coach Painter ends up getting out coached.
Yes, in big games.
And
when you're dealing with a program led by a coach that is all basketball. So if you didn't see like the ESPN behind the scenes with him,
dad,
with the dad, right. So you got to think they are going to be one of the most prepared teams in the nation. But the way he operates is, he said he gets up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And he does his meditation workout and does all this stuff. And he's like from 7:30 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. It's all basketball.
Yeah.
That's the way, that's what really was the turn in the program led by him. So you got to think it's a trickle down effect. If he's doing it, he's expected us three knuckleheads as assistants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The player development do it. You better be doing it, because come 7:31, he's starting to hit you up. What about Jay? What can we do to get him better? So why not do something that they might not be prepared for? You've done the same thing to get you there. Not saying you changed things already, but you're within fighting distance.
Right.
And then also it let me know that they were continuing to do the same thing because they were down by 14, got it to 8 or 9. That's when you hit them with something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you hit them with your curveball.
Yeah.
Something. Right.
Because UConn doesn't allow big runs. So if you're going to continue your run, you can't keep doing the same thing.
Right. Because they were prepared for it. That's why you hit them with, and we see this all the time. And me and you talk about in high school. Like if you play against like a Bellevue West, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Dostler was at foot speed, you ain't hanging with them brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Listen, they gonna pressure you.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's slow this bad boy down. Let's see how much you want. Like, not the whole game, but it's a good curveball. And then if you get through striking distance, you got the ultimate equalizer, Zach Edey. And it's one of those things. I think that they wore him down defensively, so offensively. I mean,
because Painter in his mind is like, I've got nowhere else to go.
But
you've got to create something.
Let me ask you this, Strick. If I'm your coach and I'm coaching you in Austin and I'm coaching like I don't have anywhere else to go, does that affect you as a player? Let me ask you that.
I'm going to be honest. Those are some of the things that sometimes we did have issue with Danny. Danny is not necessarily a super X and O coach.
Okay.
But during season, Danny would allow those guys to do the work.
The assistants.
Right.
The X's and O's.
Right.
Right.
But what would happen is we would get into,
and he wanted to do it.
That's what would happen a lot of time.
Yeah. Now I want to ask you a little bit more about that, because I always like to dive into the mindset of coaching. Let me ask you from a basketball's perspective. And you see this sometimes in football, and we'll get to it, because we had a coach that I remember watching a game where he let the defensive coordinator call it. And then once they start doing well, he took over. But once they start doing bad, there you go. It's like Dookie in a big old bag. Here you go. Do you think it would have helped Coach Nee or a coach in that dynamic when he was letting Jimmy Williams was one of them, right? Was he there still here?
Jimmy was more on the recruiting side.
Right, okay.
It was more
he was
Jeff
he was
Smith
a bad
and
guy.
Barton.
Right, yeah. Well, let's see. So as the season goes on, would you rather seen Coach need to learn some of that? So when he did deliver the message, you were like, okay, I seen him in there. So say we're doing a X's and O's defensive strategy meeting.
Like Jason Kidd doesn't really overly do that, but you can tell he's gotten
better.
He's began to take on that role because at first he used to allow a certain. Now he's starting to do it more. But that's what you're talking about.
So if we're in a meeting and Austin's running the offense or defensive meeting, and I'm Coach Foreman. Even though I'm the head coach, I'm sitting in the back. He's doing. I'm learning though. I'm not just sitting there making sure he's doing his job. I hired him for it. But how can I do my job even better in the pressure? Because ultimately, generally,
you are the decision maker ultimately.
And
so it comes down on you ultimately.
And when we in the huddle,
we
in here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think that, and that's what also I think, really we'll probably get into Kentucky and Arkansas with Calipari. That's his biggest fault.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's not a better recruiter. I don't think there's a better person that could come in and energize and get a program going like instant. I think he's one of the better coaches, non-conference, regular season. But then when it gets down to it, clock management, adjustments on the fly, adjustments maybe out of a tight game coming out of halftime or a long TV timeout. He's not up to the same level. And I think losing Payne hurt the last couple of years because I think he helped out with his coaching. But then also I think like John Calipari would sometimes spread himself so thin it was hung his hat. I'm getting you to the league, so I'm doing my job. But when you invest that type of money in players in NIL,
you want an ROI.
We got to get out the first round.
ROI, yeah.
On the Coach Cal thing, even the Matt Painter thing, both those guys have been at their schools for a long time. Obviously not Cal anymore. When they don't make those adjustments, is it because they just don't have them in the bag? Or is it, I've seen my way work, I want to win my way, rather than trying something new? Or is that the wrong question to ask?
Just depends on the coach. I think I've been with defensive coaches in football that have been 3-4 guys and then adjusted to 4-3. And I've seen guys with a certain scheme change. I think the best guys always are able to adapt their scheme to whatever they have this year or whatever that is. I just think with Painter, I think you get caught up in the moment, man. I think you got that far and they got to the championship game, and sometimes getting over that hump and refocusing for that championship type of game is the hardest 24 hours to do. Now, we are blessed as football players, or at least I was, that when we played in the Big 12 championship and we knew we were going to play, whoever in the Orange Bowl, we had 3 or 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to play Monday if we played Saturday. So it's a little different because you got to think Purdue is
a short turnaround as far as preparation.
But it's also it's bigger mentally for them because they have so many scars. It's like Virginia. You got so many, right? You're fighting ghosts and demons of the past that you might not have participated in. It's still there. It's in your program's DNA.
Yeah.
You bought the haunted house.
And then you get past the first big step, right?
Yeah.
You get to okay, but then, now you got to face the ultimate test. And sometimes you can't get it up for it again mentally. And plus they just couldn't hit a broadside. Those guards, man, they couldn't hit a pull-up jumper.
Nothing.
I don't think they hit a mid-range.
Nothing.
And if
they made 2 shots outside of the paint, 1-3 and one somewhere else.
And I think the three or the runner was a bank. Didn't even look like it was a real
the
shot.
Late shot clock, self-created crap. Yeah.
Right. And so it wasn't planned.
No.
So
tough.
Jinx.
I forgot what. I'm so old. I ain't even did that again.
Yeah, I don't even know.
What do you used to do? Jinx and hit each other or something?
I don't even know.
I was always jinxing me a soda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't drink soda, but that's all good.
I'll have yours then.
You can have it, Strick.
Appreciate that. Stricky, I think we're talking some NBA.
Yeah.
Coming down to the wire later in the week. MLB.
There's some conspiracies out there.
Oh, here we
Stricky
go.
and his
Here we
magnets.
go.
It-
Here we
it's-
go.
it's- it's
And then you know
his
he's gonna be
boy.
hating on LeBron.
It's
See,
his boy.
I'm tired of this, man.
I'm
Between
not,
you,
it's not just him.
Yeah,
It's the
you
Lakers.
and
period.
you and
if
Paul
you
Pierce.
can look at these numbers and see what I see, if you can't see it, then I don't know what else to say.
All I know is Ant-Man's coming.
I'm with it. I'm with that smoke.
Old School's coming. Don't go anywhere for Strick. I'm Austin. Old School next. NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker concrete, and Beatrice concrete.